you ever heard of the world's longest prison fugitive? His name is Hannan. Let's rewind back to the 22nd of December, 1955, a chilly winter night that would mark the beginning of an extraordinary escape. Hannan, along with his accomplice, Gwyneth Thomas, had been in prison for only 30 days when they decided to make a daring escape. They ingeniously used a knotted bedsheet to scale the prison wall, which, according to a future governor, was probably lower back then. But the audacity didn't stop there. The pair, still clad in their gray prison overalls, made their way along a railway line that connected the mainland to the Isle. To their advantage, a tracker dog lost their scent near the Portland Naval Base, giving them a head start. Just after escaping, Hannan and Thomas had their first taste of freedom in 30 days. After the daring escape, Hannan and Thomas didn't waste any time. Clad in their gray prison overalls, they needed to blend in, so they targeted a nearby petrol station. Here, they exchanged their prison garb for overcoats, helping them to melt into the crowd. And, as if to celebrate their newfound freedom, they didn't forget to grab beer and cigarettes. An open toilet window, discovered later by a mechanic, was their unassuming exit point. As they navigated their way to freedom, they were sighted by a lorry driver. This chance encounter led to Thomas's capture near Dorchester. His taste of freedom was fleeting, lasting a mere 16 hours. But Hannan, he remained elusive. Dorset police, then known as Dorset Constabulary, were hot on his trail. Roadblocks were set up, tracking dogs were unleashed, yet Hannan remained a step ahead, a shadow in the wind. He managed to evade all attempts of capture, leaving the police grasping at straws. The tracker dogs lost his scent near Portland Naval Base, a potential hint that he may have taken to the sea. The police believed that he might have returned to his native Ireland, but without concrete evidence, it was just another theory in a sea of uncertainties. While Thomas's freedom was short-lived, Hannan managed to remain a ghost. His escape wasn't just from prison, but from the very clutches of the law itself. This was just the beginning of a story that would span decades, turning Hannan into a legend of the criminal world. With his partner in crime behind bars, Hannan vanished without a trace. The Dorset Constabulary, now Dorset Police, tried to track him down using roadblocks and tracking dogs, but Hannan had disappeared. The authorities speculate that he fled back to his native Ireland, slipping through their fingers and beginning his life as a fugitive. Years turned into decades, and Hannan's case grew colder. In 1998, almost half a century after his escape, Dorset Police made a direct appeal to the elusive fugitive. In a service newsletter, they wrote, "If you read this, Mr. Hannan, please write in. We'd love to hear from you." A touch of humor, perhaps, but also a genuine call for resolution. Yet the plea fell on deaf ears, or perhaps no ears at all. 3 years later, in 2001, Hannan made history as the world's longest prison fugitive. A dubious honor indeed. He surpassed the record held by Leonard Fristow, a double murderer who had been on the run for 45 years and 11 months. Fristow's freedom had ended when his own son turned him in. Hannan, however, remained free, his whereabouts unknown. Despite his record, Hannan's name won't be inscribed in the Guinness Book of Records unless he is caught or voluntarily surrenders. Hannan's record-breaking escape has been the subject of much speculation and intrigue. His tale continues to captivate true crime enthusiasts who wonder where he might be, even after all these years. But what would happen if Hannan was caught after all these years? You might wonder. Well, the legal consequences would be quite serious. Hannan could be charged with the common law offense of escaping from lawful custody, an act that carries its own set of penalties. In addition to this, he might have to complete his original sentence of 21 months, from which he fled all those years ago. That's right, even after nearly 7 decades on the run, he could still be held accountable for his original transgressions. But there's another twist to this tale. The decision to pardon Hannan, or not, would ultimately rest in the hands of the Home Secretary. This means that even if he were caught, there's a chance he could be pardoned for his crimes, adding another layer of intrigue to this already captivating story. So the question remains, Where is the world's longest prison fugitive? If you see him, don't turn him in or you'll be branded a tout. Hit like and subscribe instead.